Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Implications of Phineas and Ferb podcast.
There's 365 days in a gap year, and uni's gonna come and end it. So the once in a lifetime problem for us is find a good way to spend it.
Making a podcast.
The podcast is back.
We're
again.
back in business.
Back in business. The boys are back in town. You did not see this one coming.
Back again. Tell a friend. All right, let's stop.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a pretty good app.
I would say a very solid episode this time around. This is a classic.
Solid. When we don't have a solid app, what are we going to say?
Or have we ever had a not solid app though?
Trick question. It's Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
They're always solid apps.
Exactly.
You nearly fell for it.
Mm.
All right, so we've got Season 2, Episode 4. Nice matching. And comes to Day of the Living Gelatin and Elementary, my dear Stacy.
Now, you took the Sherlock Holmes themed one
I
because
did.
you're a bit of a Sherlock boy.
I do enjoy me some Sherlock in my life.
Who's your favourite Sherlock actor?
You have to say Benedict Cumberbatch.
See, I would have said that a year ago, but I have known nothing of the quality of the movie. But Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes in Eleanor Holmes, Henry Cavill is a very, very awesome dude.
Let's have a break to talk about Enola Holmes. I'm only halfway through it, so it could get better.
No spoilers. We'll
No
keep it spoiler-free.
spoilers. Well, yeah, because I also don't have that many spoilers. But it is definitely a reinterpretation of Sherlock Holmes, which is okay. The writer was all for that. But Watson's not in it. He doesn't have
Interesting.
Watson. He doesn't have friends. And Henry Cavill, even though he's a beautiful human being, and the best scenes are...
Emphasis on beautiful. What a man.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Beautiful. The issue is is the best scenes do include him. He's just not in a whole lot of them.
Yeah,
I know,
see, I
it's
want me
gotta
some
hurt.
more Henry Cavill.
I want me some more Henry Cavill, especially Sherlock Holmes. Like, just put him in front of a camera and let me look.
Exactly, because he's Henry Cavill.
It's
Did you
not
see
even
that video
hard.
of him building a PC?
You mean the sexiest video on the internet?
Oh, yeah. He builds a computer. It gets to #1 on trending on Twitter like that.
He is a
All he did was
hot
build a
man.
computer. He's that cool.
And he's a nerd.
Yep.
Love him.
Support Henry Cavill. He didn't get the call that he was Superman because he was playing World of Warcraft.
I love that.
What a man. I
His
support
Superman
it.
was a bit...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, he has the Superman look. He has the acting chops. It was definitely the script that let him down.
Yeah.
It was
I'll-
not his
I'll pay
ability to
that.
play Superman because, I mean, and I get the decision to not have him be a smiley, happy Superman because that man looks good with a scowl. That's why they cast him as the Witcher.
That man looks good. Oh, yes. He was good in The Witcher as well. Anyway,
On to the actual episode.
on the actual episode of Phineas and Ferb,
So our first one is
The Day of the Living
The
Gelatin.
Day of the Living Gelatin. It's an interesting episode because, I mean, it doesn't really have... It was weird. It never felt like it had this, like, core theme that it was built around. It kind of felt a little bit random. But I enjoyed that. Sometimes it's nice to just have a random ADHD episode where it's just, like, doing random stuff. I
Just goes
support
from
that,
here
yeah.
to there, from there to here. And it starts off with a bit random because when we see Phineas and Ferb, they come in with a
Teleporter. Well,
no.
even before that,
Oh, sorry.
Candace nearly catches Perry doing secret agent stuff. She's like that close.
And he was in the cupboard. What was he doing?
What was he doing in the cupboard?
Was there like a secret entrance he was missing?
Probably.
And that is dirty. You don't want platypuses in your cupboard.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you don't want platypuses in your house.
You don't want
wanna get
platypus
stung by
near
them.
you at all. But
It's like that. We watched the Casually Explained Australian Animals video this week. That was quite funny.
the tier
It's
list of them, you've got to watch that. If you're non-Australian, you watch that and you'll understand what
It's
we go through.
the most honest interpretation of every
The
Australian
most
animal out there.
accurate one I've ever seen out there.
And they mention in that platypuses have poisonous barbs on their feet, which we have discussed on this podcast before. But I didn't know that they can detect electromagnetic waves with their duck bill.
Yeah, no, that's how they like see in the water. You know
there you
how
go.
when we have water, it's not very clear?
Yeah. Australian. A lot of people are surprised when they see Australian lakes or Australian anything because we just don't have clear water. The only clear water's on the beach, and even that's not that visible. Like,
Yeah, no, and your view's very blocked by the sharks.
yeah. on the beaches, it's blocked by the sharks
And
on
the box
rivers,
jellyfish.
and the blue ringed octopus.
Yeah, and the octopus. That kind of like
Irukandji
blows it up a bit.
jellyfish.
Yeah.
And the bottleneck jellyfish.
No,
Is
I
is
said that. I said the
jellyfish?
bottle.
Okay,
I
yeah.
said the most dangerous like fish thing in the world.
Yeah, we got a couple of deadly creatures.
Anyway, Phineas and Ferb turn up with their molecular transporter. Not a teleporter.
It looked like teleportation.
Yeah.
Didn't
So it might run off a different way because there's the whole sci-fi theory of like Star Trek, where they send the data of what your molecules are to somewhere,
yeah, so
and then
that's
reassemble you.
the classic question when people use for Star Trek transporters, but it's every teleporter in particular. Does the teleporter get your molecules and move them from point A to point B and then reassemble them, or does it just record what your molecules are and then destroy you in one place and rebuild you in another? And if you get rebuilt in the other, are you the same you?
Yeah. Deep philosophical question.
It's the boat of something theory where it's like you replace a plank from a boat every single day until eventually you don't have the same boat, and then you rebuild the original boat with the original planks. Which one's the original boat?
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to skip over that because it's called molecular transporter. So I think they transport their molecules from one point to another, completely devoiding the get destroyed, get remade thing.
So it's just a easy transportation system that just deassembles you and reassembles you, which
Kind of, yeah. It just sends your molecules from one point to another.
yeah, easy peasy.
Easy. And that
Has a lot of uses though.
yeah, and well, yeah, just travel.
Easy.
Transport travel. Easy. Anyway, paranoid Candace is worried that they're going to ruin her gelatin. And she's just staring them down.
I actually specifically wrote in my notes, Candace has anxiety and we should probably talk about it.
I just said she's paranoid, but yeah, anxiety's probably a better one.
She's got a lot going on up there. Like she's got this obsession. She's always trying to, bust her brothers. She gets anxious when she doesn't. She's stressed out all the time. It's showing because she's always angry. It's like Candace, honey, therapy.
Yeah, you need to
going.
see a therapist, and you need to work out ways for you to.
It's okay to admit that your obsession is becoming unhealthy and look for help.
Which she has done in previous episodes, but for the sake of the Phineas and Ferb routine, it can't really change.
Can't really change.
Is
It's
prying
like,
on a mental illness a bad way of progressing a story? Nah, I think it works
she'll
well.
be right. Don't even worry about it.
She's fine.
Don't even what flaws in this show. Nah,
No,
no,
not a single one. Easy. But she was right. They did just start jumping on her gelatin, and if I was anyone and throwing it around their face, that's a no-go. Don't pick up someone's food and throw it on the floor and then jump on it.
It's not the gelatin that they've set up specifically to be a trampoline. It's gelatin they're planning on eating later. They're at a dessert club, and they're like, let's chuck this on the floor and then bounce on it. And I'm like, that is unhygienic.
If you want to bust the brothers, that's what you do.
Easy.
You bust them on that. You'd be like,
You're like,
Mum,
my gelatin's on the goddamn floor.
because they put it there, and now they're jumping
These little
on it.
criminals.
Mum, fix this.
Yeah, exactly. But no, she's like, all right, I'll bust them for the bigger thing. They make a gelatin trampoline in Isabella's pool. I just like to say, Isabella is quite cool for letting him do that.
I think Isabel's mum, if she knew about it, is the really cool one.
That's true.
But if she didn't know about it,
Miss Garcia Shapiro.
yeah. And in this after they've made the gelatine thing, Perry disappears, but he gets caught in Agent Pinky's tunnel.
We get some good Alka shenanigans in both of these episodes.
Yeah, they really play with the little Alka formula. Instead of it just, Easy goes to Major Monogram, gets sent to go to Doof. He actually gets sent to two different ones in them both. And yeah, it's cool.
So Perry goes off to Doof. The reason he gets his briefing, and what they say is the Doof sent a video, right? They watch the video, and Doof's like, now, I've got a tea party set up that we can have together, Pair of the Platypus, but you're going to need to come through the front entrance.
Only the front entrance.
I cannot specify it enough. The front entrance.
All the other entrances that they don't work. You can't come in.
It's impossible. And they're like, well, it's pretty obviously a trap.
No, they're not like that. Monogram's like, there may be a small chance.
Very small.
Minuscule. I'm not sure. It's a minuscule chance. It may be possible that this is indeed a trap.
Maybe.
But
they immediately go, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt because we like giving people the benefit of the doubt. I support that. Good on them.
Imagine a spy agency not condemning someone for a crime they haven't committed yet.
Yeah, imagine just not arresting people for crimes they haven't committed. Imagine not trying to involve yourself in pre-punishment. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, all those dystopian futures, none of that's happening in Phineas and Ferb with Monogram in charge.
Exactly. We love to see it. Thank you, Monogram. And then Perry goes, and to be fair, the whole situation is a trap. But the front door thing sure as hell wasn't. He was just
He was just
a bit
he
weird.
just had the tea party, and then Doof's like, all right, now I've got to mention to you, by the way, I've got an evilinator that will make you evil. But like,
First they enjoy their tea party. And there's
it
no
wa-
trap at the front door.
It wasn't a trap. He just wanted to have a tea party with him.
And that's why you don't do pre-punishment. And also that's very wholesome. Just
It is a
Perry
very
and
Doof
Doof
thing to do.
have a tea
Sound
party.
like you're really gonna throw it away with a trap, but he was actually being genuine.
Yeah,
It's like when you're
very
playing
in
Among
character.
Us and someone's trying to be genuine crewmate, and you're like, this is what an imposter would say. You vote them out. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you should have said it differently.
You should have been less suspicious.
Yeah.
Joe sus.
Yeah.
So that when the gelatin monster, because the evilinator ends up hitting the gelatin monster, there's a lot of laser beams from Two Phantoms Evil Incorporated curving across to Phineas and Ferb's house and hitting whatever the hell they're doing. That
Yep.
happens a lot. So it happens this time. The gelatin turns into a gelatin monster, goes
So
evil.
This isn't even an evilinator. This is an inanimate object to animate object-inator. Which... What? That doesn't-
Doofenshmirtz can create life.
It creates life out of things that are, like, not alive. He gives things a soul. An evil soul, but a soul.
But a soul.
Yeah.
Are we gonna try?
Yeah,
It's too much, isn't it?
Can you imagine having, like, you've got your toothbrush, you're brushing your teeth, and then the toothbrush starts fighting back?
It's like, don't put me in there. I just want to live my life.
And just, like, throws itself out of your hand and starts walking away to a big tower in the center of that, whenever you look at it, has a little evil jingle.
Puts a fedora on.
Toothbrush with the tail of a fedora. I'm out of here.
I like how they just immediately blame Bajit for the gelatin coming to life because he put curry-flavored gelatin in it.
Who
which,
makes
to be fair,
curry-flavored gelatin?
Who makes-
I would be blaming him before anything.
100%.
Can you imagine not only jumping on gelatin? For starters, you can't jump on gelatin. You would just go straight through it. It would be jelly. You'd get stuck in there.
not
And then
smart.
the only thing you can smell and taste is curry.
No, it's curry mixed with, what did they put in it? Grape or like whatever? Something
No,
purple.
no. It's purple curry because he's the only one who puts flavor in it. Or did they put grape flavor?
No,
in
well,
it?
I mean, they don't explicitly put flavor in it, but I assume that the stuff, considering it's colored, wasn't just basic gelatin mix. I assume it was
Yeah.
probably a flavored, like, you know, your airplane jelly sort of thing going on.
Yeah. Okay, I'll pay that. Who makes curry flavored gelatin?
Yeah.
You don't want curry flavored jelly. That'd be weird.
And also giving the curry flavored jelly thing to Bajit. It's like a little
Yeah.
like,
Are we crossing another line here? Is that okay?
let's not even think about it.
Yeah,
It's
that-
fine.
yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
Flaws
about it.
and Phineas and Ferb.
What?
Never heard of them.
I don't even, those words just,
They just don't
I'm
work.
so confused. What did you even just say then?
Yeah, exactly.
My brain turned off
But
for 4 or
if
5
you
seconds.
did fall into it like Candace does or gets eaten by it,
You're going to die.
yeah, you can't breathe in gelatin.
Candace is dead. I've literally got it in my notes. Candace is dead. 3 words. She's gone.
She's gone.
She was in gelatin for like 20 minutes.
You
She
can't.
is
breathe.
drowned. She is dead. She cannot breathe. She is not alive.
She
Her
is gone.
subscription to life has been cancelled.
Yeah, and there's been multiple times where he throws the gelatin and it like just hits them in the head, and I'm like, yeah, no, they're dead as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can't breathe in gelatin.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried breathing while eating jelly?
I haven't. No,
It doesn't
I've
work.
barely ever eaten jelly. I've only done it like once or twice. Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Remember the 63 Club?
God, that was a good time.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, 63 Club. The dessert, they'd have little jelly cubes.
Yeah, I remember those.
And you'd have like cream with it.
That's the times that I had jelly. Yeah.
Yeah, they were good times. That
That
was
was-
good jelly as well. I hope they still do that.
Yeah, the nice
Is
green
it
jelly.
83 now? Or maybe it was always
Yeah, it was.
83.
I think it was always 83.
Okay, well that goes
Yeah,
with
Restaurant
dyslexia.
83. Yeah. it was-
Restaurant 83. I just called it 63 Club, and you got it. I'm glad you got it from that.
I'm just. We're on the same wavelength. We get what's going on.
We understand. But anyway, that jelly was great.
Yeah,
and that was the
it
very
was.
few
I do
times
love
we
some
get
good
jelly,
jelly. Yeah.
especially. Oh yeah,
In my family.
yeah, in your family.
Yeah, my
Health.
family's quite healthy, so not
Yeah.
really into that. Sort of stuff.
I just didn't have the patience for jelly. I'd make it and it was liquid, and then I'd try and put it in the fridge. And Mum's like, "You got to give it like an hour or so." I'm like,
An hour?
"But like,
You kidding?
yeah, fuck, I'm 6. I want to eat my jelly now." So I'd like try it, and it's just like sweet cordial, and I'm like,
Cordial's cheaper.
Cordial is cheaper. Plus, Cordial's like, yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Cordial.
I love cordial. Cordial's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of inanimate objects and/or animate objects in fedoras, Perry pulls off a schmick fedora trick.
Yeah, he was just like, oh,
in this
there's the
episode.
water. Comes straight back.
I love that because he's using gadgets or he's doing crazy spy stuff, but nothing beats just a classic fedora throw.
A classic boomerang fedora.
It is Perry the Platypus 1-0 freaking 1.
That's like step 2 of the being Perry the Platypus.
Anyway, that's all I've got for the first half. What do we got for the second half?
I just want to end it off with Jeremy. Oh, first of all, Candace is a creep. She has a face mold of Jeremy.
But Buford has molds of everyone. So.
Do you think she borrowed it off Buford?
Probably.
Buford doesn't appear in this episode, so it was definitely an off-camera thing to do.
Yeah, that was a bit weird how Buford wasn't there and everyone else was.
Anyway, Jeremy does it right though. You don't make a creepy ass face mold of the person you're interested in. You make a sweet little name out of gelatin. That's sweet. I like that.
Yeah, but Jeremy being a good boyfriend is nothing new. Jeremy,
But
handsome
it's
man.
something that we still need to talk about.
Seeing as how we're always
love Jeremy.
casting our
Henry Cavill, done.
that's what
sorted.
I was gonna say. Henry Cavill as
Blonde
Jeremy.
hair, Jeremy. Oh,
That's beautiful.
Oh.
So we've got Tom Cruise as
Perry the Platypus.
Perry the Platypus. We've got Henry Cavill as Jeremy. I like how everyone is just so over the top.
and I know who we're doing for Doof.
Who's Doof?
Meryl Streep. And yes, that is a great joke, but I can't take credit for it. That was on Dan Poffenmeyer's TikTok. It's
Dan
sad.
Poffenmeyer
But
is
someone
a legend.
commented, who would you get to play Doof? And he said Meryl Streep. And so I'm like, I'm down. I want Meryl Streep as Doof.
Oh yeah.
Tom Cruise as Perry the Platypus.
Who did we cast Vin Diesel as?
Oh, I'm gonna re-listen to that ep.
We'll get back to you.
He was someone crazy, like Ferb, I think it was.
Yeah,
'Cause it was all
Vin
mumble
Diesel, yeah, it was
growls,
Vin
yeah.
Diesel as Ferb, and he's just every line that Ferb delivers is a mumble growl. It's about family. It's about La Familia.
Gotta drive fast.
Yep. So we've got Vin Diesel, Tom Cruise, Meryl Streep, Henry Cavill as Jeremy.
Henry Cavill as Jeremy. That's
That means you run into the problem though of having to cast Candace as someone who deserves Henry Cavill, which is impossible.
No, but we've said that
I'll play Candace.
we've said from the start no one deserves Jeremy, so we can get away with you being Candace. That's fine.
Exactly. Because this is
I'm
my
done.
the casting director.
We can
for
do
this,
like
this is my
we can do
role.
a tag team if you need to. If you ever need someone to like swap out, or
Yeah, we're both pretty similar body type and all of that sort
we
of stuff.
can. Yeah.
Yep, easy peasy. It's Henry Cavill, dream man. Oh, the only problem is acting as Candace and consistently fucking that up would be impossible. Like
Yeah, no,
he'd be
so
like,
maybe
hey,
maybe
and he's
wouldn't-
like Henry Cavill voice, and I'd be like, I'm sold.
maybe instead of just us two, we just have, because I'm sure we could get a line of men and women to play Candace in this show, and there'd be
100%.
a lot more kissing in this Phineas and Ferb movie than there was
We're
in
doing
any
it
of
like
the others.
you know what Riverdale is, the Archie comics. We're doing that, so it's like it's
Nice.
like really weirdly adult, where everyone's a teenager.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill is playing like a 17-year-old, and like Meryl Streep is playing like a 25-year-old Doofenshmirtz. Like everyone's cast young and attractive.
Perfect. It'll be beautiful,
Mm.
and then the actual episode of Phineas and Ferb will happen, and there'll just be a sideline of every I don't know, 5 minutes of just Jeremy and Candace on screen together.
Yeah, it's just steamy scenes, and that's
And then it just like cuts, and then it goes to the normal
Hard cut.
episode. Hard cuts
and the
back.
script is exactly the same, but every single Jeremy and Candace B plot is just making out with Henry Cavill,
Yeah.
and that's the whole series.
This is beautiful.
We
need fun. Disney,
Dan and Swampy.
do we have the idea for you?
You like money?
Because we know how to make
We
it.
got money for you. But then again, the cost of casting Tom Cruise, Meryl Streep, Vin Diesel, and Henry Cavill in the same movie would
We've
be
got to ask
astronomical.
them if they're fans of Phineas and Ferb, and then from there
Yeah.
they should just be like, "Sure, I can spend 1 hour on a Sunday." It's going to be like poor quality filming,
Where
but the acting,
all the money that would go into production and cameras and crew and everything is just all into
it's
actors.
just going to be like a handheld camera, and it's just going to be terrible quality.
It's all green screen and all the backgrounds are cartoons.
But god damn, the acting will be on point.
Oh yeah, it'll be like super dramatic close-ups and
Oh,
we're geniuses for
we're
this.
just making Home and Away with decent cast.
Chuck Margot Robbie in there. Why not?
Chris Hemsworth, I hear.
Which one was Home and Away and which one was Neighbours?
What do you mean? Home and Away's on a beach. Neighbours is just
Yeah.
2 houses.
Yeah, but
Not more than 2.
there's Chris Hemsworth and Margot Robbie. They weren't both in the same show. One of them was
Chris
on Neighbours.
Hemsworth was Home and Away. He
So
started
Margot Robbie
on
was
Home
on
and Away.
Neighbours.
Can you imagine Chris Hemsworth running on a beach shirtless? That's why he was on Home and Away.
Don't need to. It's like 90% of his image.
Exactly.
Basically, everything that isn't Thor is just running shirtless on a beach. And Extraction.
and even in Thor.
Yeah, even in Extraction, he like is in the Australian wilderness. He jumps in it. Okay?
Yeah,
It's
he
not
just
really a
starts-
beach, but like it's close enough.
Yeah, bloody hell. For us.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
what beaches look like for us. They're
Yeah.
just cliffs with water at the centre.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen images of Bondi, but Bondi's actually filmed on an inland set. Like the
Yeah.
Bondi Rescue is filmed on an inland set.
Yeah, that's
in the
all
Red
fake.
Centre. Yeah,
That's made up.
Everything
Our actual
outside of the
Bondi-
first 2 meters of water is just green screen.
Yeah, our actual Bondi Beach is that thing in Extraction.
Yeah, it's just like a small river, 30-meter cliff.
And that's why we have such a problem with sharks, because once you get down there...
How do you get out?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Like
why
you
we
can't
just,
run away.
We just have to punch them
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
that kind of business.
And also, there's like platypuses and shit that live there. They'll sting you.
Yeah.
and stingrays and shit.
Yeah. That's why we don't like Bondi Beach.
Locals
Locals don't like Bondi Beach.
No, locals do not like. I don't like
Locals
Bondi
don't
Beach. It's
go
not that
to
great.
Bondi.
There's better beaches in Sydney.
Yeah, there's better beaches everywhere.
Yeah,
Except for like Melbourne.
it's
and
too
Brisbane.
overcrowded. It would be picturesque if it was just you, but it's never going to be just you.
Yeah, and there's also a sewage outlet just in the to the left.
not talk about
Anyway, we're for Tourism Australia. Come to Australia after you visit New Zealand. They're heaps better. Anyway,
That's
Elementary, my dear Stacy.
finally getting to the second episode now that we've cast the entire Phineas and Ferb live action.
Henry Cavill. Anyway, so Candace and Stacy are just bored, and they're like, "God, I'm bored. What should we do?" Grandma's like,
Firstly, they're in England, and they've bought
Yes.
Stacy.
"Yeah, why not?"
Right.
I feel like
I guess.
Stacy's a good friend. By that I mean basically the only friend of Candace. Probably getting it I don't know. Anyway, they're bored. Grandma's like, read my books. By books I mean Sherlock Holmes, and by books I mean a lot, because there's a lot of Sherlock Holmes.
There is a lot of Sherlock Holmes, yeah.
And so they read all of Sherlock Holmes, don't sleep a wink, and decide they're going to role play.
As you do.
Fair enough. If I start watching a TV series, chances are I'm going to be the person that I've liked the most out of that TV
Oh,
series
yeah.
after I'm finished.
For example, when I watched The Witcher, I was like, I'm Henry Cavill now.
Fuck. I love that.
I'm gonna have to cut that, but that's the best delivery of like any line in any TV series.
Yeah,
Fucking beautiful.
yeah, it's so good. About the third one, I was like, yeah, no, I'm all down for this.
Yeah,
This is
it's a good
good. Because when he puts the voice on, you're like, come on, Henry, we know what you actually sound like, and it is beautiful. But then after the few fucks, you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Alright. So Phineas and Ferb are doing something.
They're just going around London. They're just enjoying London. With pineapples
They got a pineapple
and free tyres.
and just stealing tires and stuff. Are they making a car? Are they making a pineapple
Well,
car?
Candace
hybrid?
has a lot of ideas, and I would like to say she doesn't really use her skills of deduction to narrow it down at all. She just starts rambling. There's
She
a
starts
robot,
guessing.
there's cars, and I'm like, come on. Sherlock Holmes doesn't jump at things. He like looks at a bit more evidence than walking into a motor shop.
And also, sometimes he doesn't look at more evidence than walking into a motor shop, but that's just when the writers want him to like get the answer. So that they clearly didn't want you to get the answer. So you got to use your brain.
Yep, fair. Anyway, the best part of this entire episode is obviously Perry the Platypus and 000.
The ALCA, the England division of
And-
ALCA is just Her Majesty's Secret Service.
MI6.
That is hilarious. The implication that there's no MI6 in America and they just have a bunch of like household pets defending the country in the same way that James Bond is defending.
Yeah, no, but they cut that
England.
and they're like, no, they are humans in England.
Yeah.
So they've got James
So
Bond.
they've got James Bond and stuff. Like, I love the implication that ALCA and MI6 are equivalent.
See, now all we need to see is Disney to buy the rights to James Bond, and then they can actually have 007.
Or whoever owns James Bond to buy the rights for Phineas and Ferb because, I support Disney not owning
Oh.
everything.
That's true, but which one's more possible?
Touche.
Touche.
So, he teams up with 000.
Who's an actual human spy at this
And
point.
he's so confused.
And this is where my favorite line comes up. And he's just like, don't you realize this man is a platypus? And I'm like, nice. He's not a man.
The reason that he's got to bring 000 on the mission with him, by the way, is because last time he was in England, he operated independently, and it caused issues with the England spy unions, which is hilarious. The implications that people were like, he was doing our job for us, and he's a bloody platypus. We're unionised, and we're going on strike. You want someone to save the country? Call the bloody Americans.
That was actually a pretty darn good accent.
It's not that great. I'll be honest.
Do we remember the last time he was in England?
Was the episode with the Cliffs of Dover and the hat?
Yeah.
thing
It
and
was
the evil convention.
A hard day's night.
That's the one.
A hard night's day. Whatever. The
Black Knight.
The Black Knight of Worcestershire, some say Worcestershire. That one. And yeah, he infiltrated as Doof's idol, but I don't really remember much of a... Anyway, doesn't matter. I can understand that the unions are upset.
Because he did also cause a large scene. He was fighting with the giant
dragons
robots and stuff,
Queen.
It was a whole international incident.
Anyway.
The amount of paperwork Monogram probably had to do.
Yeah. Anyway.
Speaking of Monogram, they deliver the mission briefing. Also, we get the parody of James Bond, obviously.
Yeah.
But then also, we get a parody of M, because the person that delivers the mission with Monogram is Inspector Initial, which is funny.
Which is M.
It's
Anyway, he's like,
and
it's a platypus.
It's Dame Judi Dench can play Inspector Initial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can just be her character.
Which Bond are we getting to play 000 though?
Ooh. See...
He's not a Daniel Craig type. Daniel Craig's too rough around the edges to be
He's
this
not
guy.
a Daniel Craig type, but I would love to see Daniel Craig act as a character who just has no clue what's going on. At this point, he's so fed up with the James Bond.
He's still playing 000. He's still playing an MI6 agent. He's got a British accent, but apart from that, in every way, he's just playing his character from Knives Out. Just
the thick accent as well. No, he's that guy that's just kind of
really confused.
Yeah, really confused. I think you'd be great because he's sick of James Bond.
He is so
And we'd be
sick
like,
of it.
you know what? You get all the cool stuff. You would be James Bond, but we want you to act pretty much like an idiot.
Have fun with it.
Have fun. He would enjoy it.
He would have a great time.
We
Plus, he
don't-
gets to act with Tom Cruise. And
We
that's
wouldn't
cool.
have to pay him.
Yeah, I mean...
If Henry Cavill was there, no one's going to have to be paid.
Exactly, because
So
they're
we-
like, spending time with Henry Cavill, I am sold.
Yeah, so we've just got to score Henry Cavill.
Easy peasy. So, Henry Cavill's agents, if you're
Get
listening
him
to
on the podcast.
Yeah. Henry Cavill, if you'd like to call on the podcast to talk script ideas, please do. We
And
love you.
Also tell us you love Phineas and Ferb. I've got to
I would
hear
support that. That would make my entire life. Is
That-
Henry Cavill on Cameo? Maybe we can make him say that.
that. We pay him to say that. Anyway, great time. Would love to see that happen. 000, he's like, it's a platypus. And she's just like, be glad it's a mammal. Now, two things wrong with that. For starters, I'm not a big fan of reptilian hate. He could be a reptile.
It'd
Not
still
an
be good.
issue.
Yeah, reptiles are great. I love a good
Second,
lizard.
he's not a mammal.
Yeah,
He's a monotreme.
Get
Be
your
glad
Australia right.
He's a monotreme. That would have narrowed it down to an echidna and a platypus.
As like, of the two, you got the better one.
Of the two, you got the better one. And
Because, I mean, sure, one's poisonous barbs, deadly, it's very rare, it's endangered, you shouldn't go near it. But an echidna, if you run over an echidna with your car, it'll like,
it's a spike bomb.
write-off.
It's
It's-
literally a walking spike bomb.
yeah, it'll explode. The people don't realize that echidnas explode. And that sounds like hyperbole. But like, if you ever hit an echidna with your car, they literally explode.
And they've got sharp spikes.
yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to hear more about that Casually Explained video, does it?
Yeah.
Anyway, beautiful. Hate that, though. Got to get them right.
He goes, wait, so we're not going to get any files, no gadgets, no mission briefings, no locations? And and Monogram goes, it was enough for the mammal.
Good rip.
Roasted.
Roasted.
Meanwhile, back with Candace and Stacy. Stacy's got the same attention span as me. She is not paying attention.
And she's a flippin' quick shopper.
Yeah,
God
man.
damn. Have you tried shopping with women? It's
That's
the
not-
worst, and it's never that quick.
Ooh,
Okay, I'm sorry, that's a generalization, but like,
it's kind of true. But
yeah.
it's-
But
yeah.
she just walked in, walked out with bags upon bags.
Good on her though.
Even
she
though-
knew what she wanted. She probably was like online shopping before, and she like knew what she
Mm.
was looking for, and she knew the sizes, and she was like, "I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna just grab what I need, get out because I don't have much time because of what Candace is doing. I gotta hang with her, you know."
Yeah. Fair. Quick.
Yeah, good
I'm
on
a
her.
big fan of that.
And I'm a big fan of Stacy having such a short attention span. It's quite funny.
Anyway, Doof has decided he's going to move Big Ben back.
When Triple O and Perry show up, firstly, they get trapped both in platypus-sized traps.
And he
he's-
has two of
Doof is
them.
like, I'm sorry, all of my traps are platypus-sized, which is very funny because it's just literally around his ankles. Like he's not that restrained, but okay. And then he gets into an argument with 000 because he's like, it's 000, and he's like, isn't that just Triple O? And he's right.
It is. I've written it down.
And he's like,
O,
so
O, O.
that would make you ooh. And what happens if you put P and ooh together? And I'm like, that's so funny. He's like, shut up about. And
There's
he's like,
zeros, okay?
I was just gonna say oop.
No.
Looks like I've struck a nerve.
Yeah, he's totally ruined. This is why he has to work with platypuses who can't speak.
Because his trash talk is so good that he actually, like, his plan here, firstly, although it doesn't make much sense, it is large scale and he actually starts going through it. It is like a big event thing. It's
Yeah.
kind of more like a traditional
it
bad
has
guy
a dumb
thing.
motive, but god damn it. Like,
went
if you
hard
do
for
it, it's a good pull-off.
And then also, he just destroys this Triple O guy in roasting.
conversation, yeah.
This is why he has to work with platypuses.
Because he can't speak
Because
back.
he wins when it's other people.
Yeah, if it's other... Because he is a smart guy.
If he was versing a traditional spy, he'd have absolutely destroyed him. It's just because Perry's a platypus and
Their poor
so,
self-esteem would not be able to handle Doof.
Exactly.
He just rips them to shreds.
It's great.
Anyway, the point he's going to move Big Ben, and there's a wonderful conversation where the guy's like, well, why don't you just, get a bigger watch or, a house wall? And he's like, it's so hard. Going down to the store buying, this is much easier. You fly to London and build a massive rocket underneath Big Ben. And
In
then,
secret.
In secret. And then you use it to blow up the agents underneath and fly it back to where you live in America.
Nice.
Nice. That's much easier.
Yeah, I support that.
I support that.
I also love guess how Perry gets out of the trap? He doesn't, the other guy's like, I'm going to laser pointer this out with my watch and we're going to have a great time and we're going to get rid of it and it's all going to work. And he's like, takes him a couple minutes. Perry's like, you've never done this before, have you? And he picks up a brick.
You did this, aren't you?
He just picks up a brick from the ground and just throws it and just
And
unlocks
it
it.
opens the traps.
He's just got I love the idea of Perry just going to work just with a brick.
No, there was the
Like
brick
I know
on the
there's a brick
floor.
on the ground.
Oh,
But I
okay.
support the idea of Perry instead of like fancy gadgets and paragliding. He just opens the front door holding a brick and just fucking clocks Doofenshmirtz.
I would like to watch James Bond instead of like the fancy guns and the explosives
just
and
got a
watch.
brick.
And he doesn't even have an Austin Martin. Like he doesn't even have the car. He just walks. He just
a
walks up
brick.
to the guy with a brick and he
just
just
donks him on the head.
gone.
Absolutely clocks him with a brick. I support this.
That would be funny.
Anyway, turns out Phineas and Ferb, what they were building was a water slide around Big Ben. Mm-hmm. That it launches you into the London Eye. Very cool.
Yep.
Um,
They've got to get permission off the council. Like they've actually got to orchestrate the London Eye opening and closing when they need it to.
do you know how the City of London's politics work?
Probably terribly.
It's a bit stupid. There's lords. So the City of London,
Yep.
and London is a broader thing and different things. Like the little area in the centre of London
Yep.
is technically citizens in there don't get a vote.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, companies and important individuals basically get a vote. And then they like vote for these lords, but then they have to be like approved through this process. And there's like guilds and shit. And then they've got to like have a certain track record and they technically get like no salary. And it's
All right.
a whole big thing.
Let's just say Phineas and Ferb skip that. They either bribe, murder, or they either bribe,
Easy.
kill,
'Cause I'm like-
or threaten everyone who doesn't agree with them, and they just get through
'Cause I'm-
quickly as.
Because I'm like, build a water slide in a day. Very Phineas and Ferb character. But getting permission to build a water slide around Big Ben from the Lords of the House in one day.
Yeah,
No way.
Pineapple was not for Ferb to eat because they split after.
It was rivalry.
Oh, I'm thinking worse than that. Have you ever been tortured with a pineapple?
You can be tortured with a pineapple?
Imagine any orifice you have. And imagine a pineapple.
I loved the dramatic pauses there, but I hated the image it was implying.
Yeah, so that's how they did it.
I mean, I guess.
I guess why not?
Why not? So they get this water slide, and then Perry stops them, and Doof rides down the water slide, and then the Doof rides down the water slide, but Big Ben is already somewhat taken off when he does.
Yep.
So instead of landing in the water, he lands smack bang on some concrete. And let me tell you, that is the most broken tailbone I have ever seen.
Yeah, he is.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's gone.
Smack bang onto concrete, enough to lodge him in the concrete.
Yeah, no. Yeah, not a cartoon. Your spine's actually going through the top of your head. Like it's going to dislocate so much it goes back out of your neck.
Yikes, that's a weird mental image. I know
Yeah,
what I meant.
that's what's going to happen though.
Yeah.
But also, there's a big problem with the Big Ben taking to his house. Do you know how loud Big Ben is?
Yeah, it's
It's loud.
ding dong.
He wants to know the time. Fuck, he's going to know the time every hour because he's going to
Whether he
hear it.
wants it or not.
He's going to feel it in his body as he sleeps because it's just going to shake him. It's loud.
There's a reason why practically no one lives that
Isn't
close to the
Big
centre of
Ben
London.
out right now though? Aren't they doing renovations on the actual bell? Because the bell is Big Ben.
I don't know. I can't remember. Every bit of footage I've seen of
Yeah, it's
the
not gonna ring till,
Parliament
like,
in the UK at the moment has been pretty.
2024. All right.
Yes, so yes, Big Ben is under renovations.
It started in 2017. It's going to end in 2021.
Yeah, that's a lot of renovations, but anything to preserve a monument, I guess.
If it goes ding, it deserves to be preserved.
I go ding. I should be immortal. Anyway, have we got anything else? Yeah, I can say the word ding.
I go ding. What the fuck? Anyway, do we have any emails or Instagrams
have
or
any emails?
DMs or anything like that? I actually think the last one we got was from you, and there was a lovely one where Austin asked for podcast advice. And
Yes,
bro,
that was
if
lovely.
you ever do get a podcast up or anything like that, send us a link.
Yeah, so 100%. We will listen to, if any of our listeners have podcasts, we will give them a listen. And even if you've got your own podcast going, you need guests, we are 100% open to that.
Oh fuck!
Easy, yeah. I'll
Yeah,
go on other podcasts.
imagine being on another podcast.
Yeah, imagine being a special guest on the podcast. I mean, Jeff Swampy Marsh, co-creator of Phineas and Ferb, doesn't have to imagine.
No, he doesn't, because he
'cause
got
he
on
was.
one of the best podcasts there are.
Yeah, good on him.
Ours,
Yeah.
because he was
He
there.
was on ours because we talked about it.
And should we make the sponsorship joke?
Yeah, up to you.
Yeah, we'll make the sponsorship joke. By the way, we don't have a sponsor.
Yeah, if only we had a sponsor that
If
we could
only
talk about.
someone wanted to give us money.
Like Henry Cavill.
No, we're not taking anything from that man,
Apart from a kiss.
but a beautiful time.
Anyway, it is way too hot in this booth. We
I
need
am
to get out.
sweating so much. My
This has been-
poor legs.
This has been a good fun episode.
I know what we've done today.
I know what we've done today.
The implications of Phineas and Ferb. Listen to it whenever you can.
I shall.